Try chapter 3 again since for some reason it's not working, and let's hope this works. So, this is part 1 of chapter 3, which is called Worst Case. Abby enjoyed a number of things about school. She loved the noise and energy on her bus every morning, and she always sat with her friend Mariah way in the back with the other sixth graders. She loved hanging out with her friends in the hallways, and she was very proud of the incredible mess inside her locker. On most days, she even liked the food in the cafeteria, and when they served grilled cheese with a half cup of sweet canned pears, she always went back for seconds. She loved afternoon recess, loved art class and music class, and absolutely adored gym class, especially on the days when she got to climb. Really, the only problem Abby had with school was all that schoolwork. She didn't like it, and she never had. She was a decent reader. She was okay at math. She was plenty smart. It wasn't that she couldn't do the work. She just didn't like doing it. And most of the time, she didn't see the point. For example, how many times was some math teacher going to make her prove that she really did know how to add and subtract and multiply and divide? Enough already. And if she knew how to write a decent sentence with a subject and a verb, and if she was always remember to put a capital letter at the beginning and punctuation mark at the end, then why did she have to suffer through all those endless writing exercises? It wasn't like she had plans to get a job writing for a newspaper or something. Plus, she knew the names of all 50 states, and she knew where they were on the map. And she also knew the names of all the capital cities, like Helena, Montana. And she knew how to find all 7 continents on a globe, knew the beginning and ending dates for lots of important wars, knew the first sentence of the preamble to the Declaration of Independence by heart, and she could recite almost half of Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. She even knew the names of the 5 countries that are permanent members of the United Nations Security Council. So why did she have to keep reading and reading those huge, thick social studies books every single year? Because Abby didn't like being cooped up in her room or the library, sitting at a desk with her nose in some book or her fingers tapping on a keyboard. She wanted more hands on experience with rock climbing, wanted to learn more about tying knots and rappelling, wanted to learn about all the technical gear like cams and pulleys, and especially she wanted to be outside. She wanted to be getting her boots muddy in the woods and fields behind her house. She wanted to be sharpening her skill with the bow and arrow she had made. She wanted to be fixing up the shelter she'd started to build in the huge oak tree that had blown over during a storm last summer. Schoolwork, and especially homework, felt like an interruption, something that kept her from doing all the things she liked best. Even though her parents kept after her, she never really gave her schoolwork much attention or effort. So during the first half of the year, Abby's grades, which had never been great, slid a little lower. In the back of her mind, Abby knew she was getting near some kind of danger point. So when the school guidance counselor sent a note and called her out of gym class one morning in February, she wasn't surprised. She'd had a talk with Mrs. Carmody about her schoolwork during 4th grade and 2 talks during 5th grade. As she walked through the office and into the guidance center, she had a pretty good idea about what to expect. Hi, Mrs. Carmody, you wanted to see me? Yes, Abby, let's sit over at the table. Abby saw that the table had already been set with 2 places, sort of like for a meal. One place with a white business size envelope, and the other with a thick green file folder. Mrs. Carmody took the chair in front of the folder, and as Abby sat, she saw that the white envelope had her name on it. She picked it up and said, "Am I supposed to read this?" Mrs. Carmody said, "Yes, but let's talk a little first, all right?" The counselor paused a moment. "Your academic teachers have asked me to tell you and your parents that they think it might be best if you repeat your 6th grade next year. And I've looked over your records and I think they're right. That's what the letter is all about. Now you can be the one to tell your mom and dad about this, or if you'd like, I can give them a phone call today to let them know the letter is on its way. I've mailed it to them, but I wanted to talk to you so it wouldn't come as a total surprise. So, can I answer any questions for you?" Abby's mouth was suddenly so dry that her tongue felt as if it had stuck to her teeth. She stared at Mrs. Carmody, and for almost 5 seconds it was like someone had pushed the pause button for the entire universe. She whispered, "I'm going to be left back?" The counselor nodded. "That is what we're recommending. Junior high school is hard enough all by itself without having to catch up on basic academics. I'm sure you can understand that. We've had some experience with other students, and another year here will really be a big help to you, especially later on." Abby kept staring. "But left back? I can't do that. I can't do that." I know it's a lot to take in all at once like this, but just take a deep breath or two and remember that what we want to do here is what's best for you. That's all. Can I get you a drink of water?" Abby shook her head. "Do you want to talk about this?" She shook her head again and said, I don't know what to say about it. I mean, it's like you said, it's a lot to take in." "Well, it is, and I understand that. I really do. But I want you to remember that we want whatever's best for you. So for now, you should probably go back onto class and just think about it, all right? And if you want to talk to me again later today, here's a permission note you can use anytime." She slid a piece of paper across the table to Abby. "And let me know if you'd like me to be the one to tell your mom and dad, all right?" Abby took the permission note and put it into the white envelope. As she stood up, Mrs. Carmody said, "Everything's going to work out, Abby. You'll see. So I'll talk to you later." Abby nodded and said, "Okay." She tried to smile a little, but her face wasn't working. She walked through the office and then out the door and along the fourth grade hallway back toward the gym. Several of the fourth grade classroom doors were open and the different sounds spilled out into the air around her. Kids reading aloud, a teacher leading a math class, a video on space exploration. But all Abby could hear was her own voice. "I'm going to get left back." When she went to the gym, a furious game of dodgeball was underway, so she walked over to where her friend Mariah was sitting against the wall. Mariah hated dodgeball, and she always got hit on purpose right away. Mariah said, "What was that about?" "Nothing much." Mariah turned and took a good look into her friend's face. "Are you sick or something? You look terrible." "I'm fine," Abby said. But that was a lie. Now that's where there's a break in the chapter, so I'm going to stop there for part one, and I really hope this one worked. I will talk to you soon.